Hello there, Whipper here, and today I'm going to be showing you a mod called the Super Mario mod, and this basically adds loads of the items, blocks and mobs from the Super Mario Brothers games into Minecraft. And I think I'm going to start off with the blocks, so let's just get the slightly more boring stuff out of the way first, and then go into the exciting mobs kind of thing. But the first kind of blocks I'm going to show you is the 4 different varieties of question mark blocks, which are of course the item blocks that give you items. And all the items you receive from these, you can actually, they're all randomized, so you can get loads of different items from them. And I'm just gonna jump on, up like this, and then there we go. Just like in Mario, we've got an item from it when we jumped up and we broke the block. Well, replaced the block with a different block. And yeah, we've actually got a coin from that, and there's 3 different varieties of coins. We've got the yellow coin there, which is just 1 coin, and then you've got the blue coin, which is 5 coins, and then the red coin, which is 20 coins. But next up we've got the underground question mark block, which is basically the same as the original question mark block, but it's just got a different texture, and it's for the underground levels in Mario. So we're just going to jump. There we go, this time we've got a coin again. You can actually get other items apart from coins in these, like power items and super mushrooms and stuff like that. But now we've got a castle one, which actually looks like identical to the original question mark block, but we'll just ignore that. See what we get from this. Another coin, how boring. And then last but not least, there actually is something here. It's an invisible question mark block, so you can hide these around your world if you really wanted to. And then you just jump, and there we go. There's actually no crafting recipes for these 4, because they randomly spawn around the world. You can actually see some over there. So don't try and craft these, you have to find them randomly, and then you can actually collect them using an item I'll show you later. So now I'm just going to show you the actual blocks that this mod adds. So we've got the brick block there, lovely texture there, all from the original Mario games. You may be recognising them. And then we've got the ground block. The decoration block, which you normally see these in those levels where you've got like steps and then you have to jump over like a massive gap, and that's what I recognise these from. And then we've got the underground brick blocks. These are just the same of these, but for the underground levels in Mario. And then we've got the underground ground block, and there's way too many ground words in that sentence there, ground. And then we've got the underground decoration block, and then we go on to the snow block. So we've got a snow ground block, and then we've got the cloud blocks, and these would be brilliant if you wanted to make a platforming level in the air, or the sky, whatever you want to call it. And there we go. So next up we've got the underwater plant, and this brings back horrible memories of all those levels in Mario where you've got like an oxygen bar and you have to finish the level before you run out of oxygen. I just hate those, and those fish that chase you and try and kill you. Oh, they're horrible. Yep, so that's the underwater plant, bringing back horrible memories. And then you've got the underwater ground block, which kind of looks like the bushes in the background of the levels. That's what I at first thought these were, but obviously not. And then we've got the 2 kinds of castle blocks. We've got the castle wall block, and then we've finally, last but not least, we've got the castle brick block. These would be cool for actual real builds in Minecraft. I love this texture. But there we go. So that's all the blocks and the item boxes over there that are in this mod. Now onto the slightly more interesting stuff. So next I'm going to be showing you the good old pipe, and the pipe is made up of 2 different segments. We've got the pipe base and then the pipe entrance, and to build this you just place down the pipe and base like that, and then put on top of it the pipe entrance. Oh dear, I've got to put it in that corner, but there you go. And these are 2x2 of course, and yeah, you can actually link these together with other pipes, and then when you go through the pipe you'll appear out the other pipe. And to link them together you just right click on the top bit of it, the pipe entrance, and then you choose a channel like this. You just press the plus and minus keys, and then you click confirm, and you've got to make sure both of the pipes are on the same frequency as it were, and then you can just enter the pipe by pressing your crouch key, and then you appear out the other one, and you get that lovely sound effect as well to just show that you've gone through the pipe and it's all worked. So yeah, that's the pipe. But next up we've got the flagpole, which you will probably recognise from the end of the Mario levels, and you just have the lovely relief of finishing the level and not having to do it again, unless you're one of those speedrunners. So yeah, I'm just going to fly up here, and then when you land on it, you can see it plays the Mario sound of finishing the level. And there we go. Oh, no need to do that, you've just heard it. I don't know why I was doing that. But yep, the flagpole. Lovely for the end of the levels. If you build any Mario levels using this mod, you can put that at the end, and you can use it to show people that that's the end of the level. But next up we've got the trampoline. Now I can't actually remember any Super Mario levels that I've done that have actually involved a trampoline. I've probably just played it too long ago to actually remember, but you can probably guess what this is going to do. You just jump on it and you bounce quite high. And you can actually combine this with the flagpole and like jump and finish the level. And that was pathetic. I wouldn't have got many points for landing at the bottom of that one, would I? So yeah, that's the trampoline. And you can put them all together and stuff like that and make a massive trampoline or something if you really wanted to. But that's kind of defeating the purpose of it. But next up I'm going to go on to the mobs and show you all the different kinds of them. And at the moment they appear to have despawned or have just gone into peaceful like a complete idiot. But I'll come back when I've place them all back and then I can show you them. So the first mob I'm going to show you is the good old classic Goomba. And you all probably know these from Goomba Stomps if you haven't actually played Mario, but all of you have probably played Mario, otherwise you've been living under a rock. But anyway, I'm just going to show you what you'd probably expect to do with Goombas. I'm just going to jump on them, like so. And there we go. I've got 10 points from that, and no items, but you do get actual item drops from this. There we go, we've got some there. We've got some Goomba fangs, and in order to jump on them to kill them, you're going to need the Mario boots, which are a part of the Mario armor set, which I'll show you how to make later. But let's just kill this guy and move on to the next mob. So let's just go over here, and what have we got up next? Oh look, the good old Koopas. These are the guys which you jump on and get shells from, and that applies in this mod too, so just kill that guy. Again, got 10 points for some reason, and presuming this adds onto your score when you die. But here we go. And none of them gave me a shell. That was horrible. I'm going to have to spawn another one because I really need to show you the shell mechanics. Come back here. Don't escape. You're running away from me. Still no shell. Oh well, I'll just show you the shell item later, but I'm just going to tell you now that the Koopas drop shells, if you're lucky. But next up we've got the bob-ombs, and these of course do what you'd expect bob-ombs to do. They just explode. So if I went in, actually, I don't know if I should go into survival. This could probably end up bad. Yep, they've blown up everything, as predicted. But yep, those are the bob-ombs, so they just blow up on contact when they come anywhere near you. But next up we've got the bullet bill. Hated these guys because they're so fast. And also in Mario Kart, when someone at the back gets a bullet bill and you're just right in front of them, you're like, no, I wanted that one. But of course, this is the bullet bill. And if I went into survival now, I always hate doing this. There we go. You can see if I was far away from it, it would have actually sped up towards me and then exploded. But because I was close up, it just exploded on contact. But that's the unique mechanics of the bullet bill. And actually, I forgot to mention that with the bob-ombs, if you jump on their heads, like that, they kill them, and they have a small chance of dropping the bob-omb item, which you can use to throw at other mobs and explode them. So next to it we've got the Cheep Cheeps, but of course because they're fish, I think they're fish anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have died because they've got no water to live in. So there we go, they look like fish, and yep, they are fish, they're Cheep Cheeps. And these are the guys that are in the underwater levels in Mario. If you've ever played the horrible underwater levels, I absolutely hate them. But yeah, and you can kill these guys by jumping on top of them, but you wouldn't want to because they're peaceful things, and they're not going to harm you. I don't seem to be getting any item drops, it's really peculiar. Is there something wrong? Anyway, next up we've got the Hammer Bros. And these are the most hated mob ever because they just stand on platforms in the levels and just throw hammers at you. And you can't get to them. Most of the time they're on a ledge which is unreachable and you just have to run past them and dodge all the hammers. But if I went into survival now, I could show you. Just going to throw, yep, and there goes the Cheep Cheeps dying. But they're going to throw hammers at me. And whoa, I'm going to die. I need to quickly get back into creative. And you can see they're quite devastating. But again, you can jump on these guys who have now decided to glitch in the ground. As usual with Minecraft's glitchiness. And are these guys going to drop anything? I think they have. Let's come on, die. There we go. Yep, he dropped a shell. We've got 5 shells. And now I can actually show you how you can use the shells. So you just right click and there you go. They can actually bounce off blocks. And you can use them to kill other mobs, which is cool. So yeah. But next up we've got Toad. So here we go. These are the good old Toads. And you can just jump on their heads and you bounce. I know it's the first thing you think when you jump on a Toad. You know, that it's going to bounce you up in the air. Just walk up to a Toad and think, I want to jump on your head. Yeah, that kind of thing. Poor guys, they just get abused all the time. You just jump on their heads to get stars and stuff in Super Mario Galaxy. I love Mario games if you haven't noticed, but yep. So you can jump on their heads and they go, I think Mario is actually going, haha, which is me. Actually, I need to show you what the armor looks like because it's so cool. Look at that. It's me as Mario. Brilliant. But yep, those are the Toads. You can jump on them and they're peaceful, of course. I mean, have you ever seen an angry Toad that goes around rampage and kills everyone? That would just be really weird. But yep, that's the Toad. But the next mob I'm going to show is of course Bowser. Look how scary that is. Look at all those teeth that appear to be square and not sharp at all. I mean, trying to make a sharp point out of blocks is not very easy. But this is Bowser. Actually, he's more like Bowser Jr. He's a bit small. He should be like 10 times the size of that. Maybe he needs to fall in some lava and turn into Skeletor Bowser or something. I don't know. But you can see he's got like spikes on his back and he's Bowser. So he's going to fire fireballs at me if I was in survival. So if I go to survival now, probably going to die from this. You can see he's firing fireballs and they act like projectiles. So they just bounce off stuff and they just come at you and set you on fire. So if I got hit by one of these, I quickly need to go into creative before I die. But you can see I got set on fire. And it's really not something you want. And you actually heard the Mario sound effect for getting set on fire then. And that is another feature of this mod. It adds all the sounds from Mario. And now Bowser's going to be permanently mad at me. And when you kill Bowser you get some cool items. I don't have anything to kill him with, but you'll have to check that out yourself when you download the mod. So next up we've got the beetles. I don't actually know what these guys are, I can't recognise them. Maybe they're the ones from the underground levels where they just like walk on all the sides of blocks and they have like spikes on their back that do damage. But you can't easily jump on these guys to kill them. Well, you can actually, but sometimes it doesn't work. But it seems to be at the moment. We'll just go with the you can jump on them actually. But these guys just drop shells like the Koopas do. And there you go, you got some lovely shells to kill Bowser with. Yeah, die Bowser, have shells. Look at all those shells in there just bouncing off the walls constantly and killing him. It's brilliant. Shell mania. Look how that's an insane amount of shells. Let's kill Bowser with shells. Take that. Yeah, let's see what he dropped actually. He dropped a Starman. That's interesting. And that's an item I'll show you later. So to show off the next mob, I've had to set it to night time because of course it is Boo, who in the daytime just despawns instantly and dies, so you don't want that to happen. And you can see he only has 5 health points, so quite easily to kill. You can just hit him like that, and you'll just kill him eventually. And the only form of damage he does do is contact damage, so nothing special really. It's just a walking block, well, floating block. I mean, Boos don't walk, they have no legs. Poor little Boo. But yeah, that's the Boo mob. May as well turn it back to noon so I can show off Yoshi. And Yoshi is probably the best of all the mobs because you can actually ride the guy. So we can just go up to him and right click on him. There we go, we're riding Yoshi. And again, you can just left shift to dismount like you would a horse. And then you've got some special abilities with this dude. So you could just hold space like that and build up the charge meter to jump really high. And you can actually double jump by holding space again while you're in the air like that. And you get the lovely Yoshi sound effects. Yoshi's just like the cutest animal ever. It's brilliant. So there we go. You just fly, whee, flying Yoshi. You can't jump more than twice, you can only jump twice until you land again when it resets. And also he has another ability where you can actually stick out his tongue by pressing left control. And there you go, you can kill that mob just by walking up to other mobs. Is he going to kill his friend? Yep, there we are. He's now killing himself, that's really nice. But yep, you can just go up to key people and kill them with your tongue. Actually, I didn't check if it has an animation, does it? It doesn't appear to have an animation, so it's just like contact damage with them. And you just walk up to this guy and kill him. Yay, how satisfying that is. And go up to a creeper. Of course, in the real Mario games, Yoshi actually eats them. He goes inside them. And then you can just like spit them out. But not in this mod. You just like kill them with your tongue somehow. Maybe you wrap it around their throats and kill them. No, that's a bit dissable. Can't talk about that. Mario's meant to be happy. Well, happy for Mario, not for the other mobs. So yeah, that's all for the mobs in this mod. So next up, I'm going to be showing you the tools that this mod adds. So I'm going to start off with the Ivory stuff. And you can notice here we've got a new tool, but I'll show you that later. But the first off, we've got the Ivory tools. And to make Ivory tools, you're going to need some ivory. And you just craft the tools in the same way as you craft the normal tools. But to obtain ivory, you're going to need Goomba fangs, which of course you get from killing Goombas. So yep, and then you can create some ivory tools, which have really good durability, but they're not that effective. I think they're similar to stone tools, so nothing too special. But now I'm just going to show you the ivory hammers and stuff like that. So we've got all the different kinds of hammers here. And to craft a hammer, this is how you craft it, and with all the different materials this stays the same. And you're going to need a hammer because it does loads of damage, as for one. I mean, it does 6 damage per hit, and also it enables you to collect the Mario blocks that you find randomly scattered around your world. Because of course you can't actually mine these with anything other than a hammer. If I use like a pickaxe, it's not going to work. And now I've got slimes everywhere. I'm being attacked of the slimes. It's terrible. But yeah, you can see I'm not going to be able to break these with anything other than the hammer. But as you saw earlier, you can actually craft these blocks manually. You don't have to find them around your world. So yeah, that's the hammer item. But now, since I'm surrounded by slimes, I think it'd be a good time to show you the power-up items that you can get from the question mark blocks over there, which I showed you at the start. So first up, we've got the fire flower here. And then you can actually use this just by right-clicking it in your hand. And there we go. You can just see it fires a fireball out and it bounces over the ground. It's perfect for setting mobs on fire and stuff like that. You could even kill poor toads. Poor toads, they just get abused all the time and I'm not helping. But yep, you can just spam these and they bounce everywhere. I love the bouncing physics of them. It's brilliant. I haven't seen that before in a mod. But next up we've got the super mushroom. And if I eat this, you can see it just gives me health back. Nothing too special. And then you've got the one-up mushroom, which I really don't know. It's probably just a more powerful version of the super mushroom. But next up we've got the Starman. Now this is probably the coolest, and for this I'm going to spawn a load of Goombas. There we go, we've got loads of Goombas, and the only way I can save myself from certain death is using the Starman. And there you can see we've got the star sounds when you've got a star power up, and you can just run over the Goombas and they die on contact damage. There we are, I'm just running around. Probably kill Yoshi, although it's evil, and Toad, but no, Toad survived. But you can see that's what the star does, the same as in the Super Mario games. It just makes you invincible for a short amount of time and you can kill things on contact. And now you can see it's deactivated. But next up we've got the bob-ombs, and you get these from jumping on bob-ombs, of course. And if I had some mobs to test it out on, just spawn some Goombas again. Sorry Goombas, you're just getting picked on, but you can throw the bomb. And go on, explode. There we go. All the Goombas except for one died. And now I can just show you the next one, which is the pow block. And to use this, you just hold it in your hand and right click, and then it sends out a shockwave everywhere around you in a certain radius. And it's got a certain number of uses. You can see it's got a durability bar, so I could spawn some more Goombas, and then just right click with the pow block, and boom, another shockwave, and all the Goombas are just dying left, right and centre. And there we go, we've got some lovely Goomba fangs again. So yeah, that's the power block, and I've shown you what the shell does earlier, but I'll just show you again. So I can just spawn a load of Goombas, and then fire the shell, and there you can see. The Goomba died, and I really need to get rid of these guys, so pow! I love that. It's like a Thor hammer kind of thing. You just right click and boom, everything flies around you. It's brilliant. So the final thing in this mod is the armour, and of course I've shown you the Mario and given you a glimpse of what that does already, but I'm just going to show you again, just in case you missed it. So this is the Mario suit, and the cap gives you the ability to break blocks with your head. The cape gives you the ability to double jump, the jumpsuit makes you jump higher, and the Mario boots give you the ability to like stomp on mobs. So yeah, and to craft these, for the boots you're going to need obsidian, for the jumpsuit you're going to need lapis lazuli, I don't know how you say that, I think I'm saying it right. Then you've got the feathers for the Mario's cape, and then for the Mario's cap you're going to need red wool. So very cheap, you can easily make this, it's very accessible, you don't need to kill any of the special Mario mobs to obtain it. And the final set of armour that this mod adds is the shell armour, and to craft the shell armour you're going to need to kill some Koopas and Hammer Bros, and then they give you shells which you can use to craft the armour in the normal manner of crafting armour. And then once you've crafted all the pieces you can put it on, and you can see how awesome this looks. It'd be very good for camouflaging yourself in front of a load of like leaf blocks or something, especially if you're in fast graphics. This would really blend you in with the surroundings, and I'm guessing this is probably similar to iron in durability and protection. So yeah, it's quite worth it actually to just go and find some Koopas and kill them. So yeah, that's all the different armour types. So there's actually one final thing I want to show you before I end this video, and that is that I've actually made a custom Super Mario Bros. Styled level out of all the blocks and stuff in this mod. Now sadly I haven't actually managed to add any mobs to it, because whenever I do, when I go back to the start of the level, they've already despawned, because I don't hang around a lot. I wish they did stay, so you could actually make some proper Mario levels, but I did try, but it wasn't working. So I recommend as you go through you spawn your own mobs, but I'm going to put this up for download in the description if you want to test out this mod quickly, and this contains most of the stuff in this mod, so you can just use this to test out the mod and see if you want to keep it. And so you can see we've got the classic 3 pipes there, and the end one is a special one, and then you've got the pits of lava, because that's the best way of like killing Mario. In fact, if I jump down here you can hear the ha 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 ha. Okay, that was a terrible impression, but around the outside I've actually used the invisible question mark blocks as barriers so you can't walk out the level, you know, that kind of thing. And I'll just fly through and show you what it looks like just quite quickly. And then at the end we've got the lovely finishing post with the trampoline. So yeah, I thought it'd be cool to just make a level for you guys to download and check out the mod with. So thank you for watching. This has been the Super Mario mod, and I'll see you next mod video. And please remember to leave a like if you've enjoyed. And again, remember to download this map and check it out.